What is up, guys? William here from fitnessforbackpain.com, where I teach you how to overcome chronic, persistent low back pain by building smarter strength, improving your movements, and mastering your mindset. In today's episode, we're talking about glute strength. I'm not just gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give you 6 exercises that you can do from an elementary level, very simple, very basic, all the way up to a general, even advanced to some people, glute activation and strengthening exercises. Okay, so we're not gonna educate, we're not gonna talk about glute amnesia, if it's even a thing. We're gonna build stronger, more supportive hips and glutes, and you're gonna do it with these 6 exercises. If you want to know how to apply these exercises to an actual workout, if you're like, okay, I got the glute workout ready, the exercises are stacked, but what about the rest of the body? I've got a free sample of abandoned bodyweight workout that you can plug these glute exercises into and have a perfectly well-rounded 7-day back-friendly, post-fusion friendly, herniation bulge friendly workout. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/free week to grab and download that free workout. fitnessforbackpain.com/free week. Now let's jump. All right, so the first exercise is like a twofer. We're gonna do butt pops. They're great, they're fun, they're very simple. You can do them without anybody really noticing it. First variation of it is gonna be on our backs. Then we're gonna flip over and pretty much do the same thing on our stomachs. So the butt pops, you can do these a couple different ways, and you'll have to kind of play around to see which way works best for you. But I like to have my legs flat on the ground. So on the floor, on my bed, whatever I'm at, feet are flat, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to differentiate between my right and my left glute by just contracting it, okay? So I'm gonna grab my right leg first, and all I'm gonna do is try to squeeze that right glute and relax this left one. Once I get it, squeeze as hard as I can while trying to relax this one, and then I'm gonna switch sides. Left glute on, trying to just get this right one to shut off. Interesting enough, I have a very hard time activating this left glute without firing this right glute. Also, funny fact is that when I do lunges and static lunges and things like this really is a challenging leg for me. So this kind of goes to show what I could be improving on for myself. Then you can go up with your knees bent. I'm gonna contract this right one. I like to use my hands as well if I can't really kind of get that muscle to contract. Sometimes that tangible or just feeling and touching the actual area that you want to contract helps a lot. So let's go with the left one first. Squeeze, I can do this a lot easier with my knee bent. Relax, go to the right one, squeeze, and relax. So I'll go back and forth and work on contracting them individually and then at the same time as hard as possible. Then I'll flip over and I'll do the same thing on my stomach. What I'm trying to do is I'll put my hand on that right glute, and I'm just trying to squeeze that right glute as hard as I can without activating too much of my feet and calves and trying to overcompensate. I really just want to learn to contract that glute, and that is basically this whole area here. Then I'll relax and I'll get the other glute activated. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Relax, squeeze, and the more you do it, you'll realize that you don't have to contract your quad that much, you don't have to do extra stuff, and you'll learn that muscle activation, that muscle connection that you need, that then you can apply to the exercises that follow. All right, so this next exercise is what I call the figure 4 glute activation. Very simple. I'm gonna show you a few different angles so hopefully you can kind of get a good idea of what exactly I'm doing. I'm on my stomach, I'm laying on the floor. You want to do it on a harder surface just because you don't get that extra extension by being on a squishy mattress or a squishy couch. So if you can get on the ground, on the carpet, on the hard floor, I definitely suggest you do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit on my stomach just like this, and I'm gonna take either my right or my left leg, doesn't really matter which one I start with, and I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna drop it over the back of the opposite leg. So it's kind of in that knee pit, I guess you can say. So from there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to relax everything, put my chin down on my fist, trying to just keep everything nice and chill. What I'm gonna try to do is I'm trying to lift that right knee off the ground with just activating my hips and my glutes. So what I'm not trying to do is overcompensate and use my back. So I'm trying to do this. I don't want, that's obviously an excessive example, but I don't want to twist and use my lower back to get it up. I really want to focus on just getting it up with my glutes. So I'm gonna try to relax. I'm gonna slight brace in my core. I'm gonna lift off just a little bit. You may cramp up. This might send you into a full-blown butt cheek cramp, and that's okay. It means you just gotta do it more. Relax, getting to calm down, contract that right glute, and try to lift that knee up as high as you can. It's not gonna go up that high. Relax, and I'll switch it out to the other side. Contract that glute, lift that knee up as high as I can without compensating anywhere else, as best that I can. Nobody's perfect. You're just trying to activate and learn to understand what that glute does and what it feels like when you're contracting it. Make sure you do an even amount of numbers on both sides. Next exercise is the single leg bridge. I'm gonna do body weight. I suggest you do all these with body weight. You can always stack on weight or bands or whatever you wanna do to make it harder later, but this is just for building that strength and the activation in these specific exercises. So single leg glute bridge. I'll sit flat on my back, knees bent, hips are as close to the 90 as possible, knees bent here. I'm gonna take the whatever leg I'm not gonna be activating, what I'm not working, and I'm gonna bring it up just like this. Okay, so from here, I'm driving with that right leg. I'll switch it for the camera's sake. So I'm driving with this left leg now. This leg is up. I'm trying to keep this nice and sturdy here at my hips and my knee, and I'm just gonna drive up with this leg here. Key thing with this one is not about how high you go. I'm not trying to overextend. All I'm trying to do is go as high as my glute activating and squeezing is gonna take me, okay? So here, I'm gonna first squeeze, then I'm going to drive as high as I can go before I start compensating. Back down, nice and slow. Relax, get that low back to relax. Contract, not pushing from my low back. Big mistake a lot of people make. I'm not driving from my low back, I'm driving from this area right here. Push, 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 push. Try to relax that low back. Push, 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 push. As high as you can go. And relax. Same thing on both sides. Driving with that right leg. I'm way more controlled with this right side, which goes to show I need more work on that left leg. And this is a good way of finding out, like, why does my left hip always hurt? Why does my right or left knee always hurt? It might be due to weakness. I'm trying to do the same weight on both sides when this one just isn't as strong as this one, and that's fine. You're not gonna have every limb exactly the same strength, but if you can notice something, it might make more sense where you can back off, do a few less reps, or train them on a different day a little bit extra to kind of get that extra work. All right, so this next exercise is the donkey kickbacks or banded kickbacks, a variation of it, okay? I've got my lightest red band here attached to some kind of sturdy object. It could be a couch, it could be a banister pole, it could be a bumper, whatever you have, or at the gym. You can use cables if they go light enough. But the key thing is finding your angle, and you're gonna notice that different angles will hit different areas of the glutes because there's more than one muscle back there. With the band, I'll show you specifically kind of some tips and tricks on how to do this and what to expect. So I'm gonna take my band and I'm going to put it underneath my knee. So if you see that, it's underneath my knee. If you got hairy legs like me, highly suggest you do these with sweatpants on. But from here, I'm not gonna sit completely sideways. So I'm not doing like fire hydrants, right? I wanna change the angle. So for me in this exercise, I'm gonna have my left hand on the other side of the band, my right hand on this side of the band, and I'm going to adjust either here or here. If I'm gonna come over a little bit here, that's totally fine. So find your perfect angle that works for you. I like this one here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna build tension on that band, and I'm taking it just straight out from where it's attached to, okay? A little tip, if you wanna go out and back, so you're trying to like twist in. So you're trying to twist your foot in or externally rotating your hip at that top point, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna push out with the hip, squeeze, 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 and then externally rotate and come back. Push out, externally rotate, back. So these next two are a little bit on the more difficult, or not advanced necessarily. Like this is what I would do in a normal workout place. So it's not necessarily an advanced type of exercise, but it's a lot harder than the first ones we've been doing, like the butt pops or the single leg bridges. It's the static lunge, okay? Now, what you're gonna focus on and what you need to focus on is what you're activating here. We're not just pushing off the ground. We're not just trying to get up or stand up. We have to remember what we're trying to do. Focus on the muscles that we're trying to activate, and that's really how you maximize each exercise that you're doing. So for this one, I like to at first be by some kind of pole or something I can grab onto, just so if I'm actually loading myself using weight, then I can keep my balance if something kind of weird happens. But in this case here, I'm just gonna go body weight. So from here, I'm gonna step back. You're not gonna have the perfect width until you get down and get ready. One suggestion that you could do if you like to start in a really ideal, perfect spot is start at the bottom. I like to have my knee almost directly over my toes. I'm not a big fan of being way back here like this. I feel like I just really get messed up and I can't activate my hips as much as I'd like to. So I like to come a little bit forward. And when I'm driving, what I'm trying to do is think about contracting this right hip. That's the most important thing. So before I drive, I'm contracting this leg and I'm pushing down with my big toe, my little toe, and my heel, and I'm driving up, okay? Might adjust a little bit, come down, driving up. Here. Now body weight's gonna be pretty simple. It's not a hard exercise to do with your body weight, but where it becomes more advanced or harder versus like the butt pops and stuff like that is when you're going loaded and you're really challenging yourself with the weight. I'll hold the weight here, I'll come down, and I'm driving back. One thing to remember is what I'm not doing is I'm not trying to keep my knee perfectly straight. So a lot of times people think, okay, I gotta keep it like nice and straight, and what ends up happening is you internally rotate that leg too much to where you're turning off, or you're not getting a really good contraction back in the hips. So what I try to think about doing is taking my toe and focusing it on taking my knee, and focusing it on my pinky toe. So I'm kind of trying to point it towards that pinky toe. Very subtle, nothing major. So I'm gonna come down, see how it's a little bit off to the right some, and then push back up. So I'm not going towards my big toe, that's big toe. This is like middle toe-ish. I wanna go pinky toe. So my big toe's flat on the ground, my pinky toe's flat on the ground, and I'm stabilizing with that, taking it out, contract, contract, and push up. Another really cool tip you can do with these exercises and all of the actual standing exercises is do them without shoes on and socks. No socks, no shoes. Practice pushing down with that big toe, pushing down with the pinky toe, and using your fingers as if you're using them as grip. You're gripping the ground with your feet and you're driving up. All right, so the final exercise, one of my favorites. This is a doozy. Love doing this exercise. You don't even have to do this exercise with weight for it to really, really be challenging. Again, if you wanna see more exercises like this one, the one we just did before, the single leg static lunge where you're using weight, I highly suggest you check out that free week workout, a free 7-day workout. It's band and body weight, but you'll know, okay, I can do these exercises with band and body weight. How do I feel about adding weight to them? It's very easy. You're just gonna grab whatever weight you have and apply them within that workout. You can grab that at fitnessforbackpain.com/free week. Great application with what you're learning today. So this last exercise, again, one of my favorites. I'm gonna have a stability ball and a wall. I'm gonna get set up. What you're not gonna do is have a wide stance, right? If you were squatting normal, you'd be kind of very wide like this and you'd be doing your normal squats. Here, you're gonna cheat in and be a little bit more narrow. It just works better like this. Then you can adjust as far as difficulty goes with how far away you wanna be from the ball. So when getting set up for this specific exercise, I try to have the ball right at that knee level, as well as when I go weight bearing and bring this leg up, the sides of my calf are gonna be supported by this ball as well. It gives me some extra stability. Now, obviously with less skin touching the ball, the harder it's gonna be, so you can kind of adjust to make it as hard or as easy as you want. The key with this exercise is getting into position and getting balanced. Once you're in position and you feel balanced, then you can kind of start playing around with your depth and how well you're doing it. So once I bring this leg up, I'm gonna push into this ball. I'm not just kind of standing here, I'm actually driving and activating this right side as hard as I can by pushing into the ball. Then the other side of the exercise is I'm actually sitting back into some sort of a lunge or a squat on the opposite side. This is what it looks like. Legs up, weight bearing here. I'm gonna sit back, back, push up forward. Here, sit back, sit, and back up. It's not about how deep you go. You can always challenge yourself with that. It's really about taking the weight of your body, shifting it. You're almost going back and down. You're not going directly out this way. You're not just going straight down this way, but you're shifting that weight to that left hip and loading it and hinging at the same time. I'll show you from the side. All right, so here we are from the side. Get my ball into position here. Hopefully you can see me good. Bring this leg up, shifting my weight to here while pushing into this ball, sitting back, and back up. Again, big toes in the ground, pinky toes in the ground. I'm gripping the ground with my feet and my toes as much as possible. Push, and back up. You'll do the same amount of number reps on each side. So there you have it. Those are the 6 glute activation, glute strengthening exercises that you can do specifically if you have back pain. You know that you need to spend some time building some strength and stability in this area. These 6 exercises are perfect. Start with the beginning, the easiest ones, get them activated, get them contracting, and then progress and build strength and build more endurance and more stability using the harder versions of the exercises. Again, you need a well-rounded program. You really just can't train your glutes. Back pain is not healed by stronger glutes necessarily. It's a bigger picture that you have to peel back the onion. So if you want the big picture, if you want to understand how a full workout works, I've mentioned a few times in this video, go to fitnessforbackpain.com/free week to grab that free 7-day band and body weight style workout that is specifically geared towards the back pain sufferer, chronic back pain, post-fusion, post any kind of diagnosis of herniations and bulges. It's yours to try out to see what works best for you. Thanks again, guys, and I will see you on the next episode.